Hi, and welcome to another segment of the Street Beat. I'm here with Tina Man, and I'm Sandra Tucker. I hope everybody out there is doing well. Well, the last time that we were here with you, we were talking about the blue wave, and the blue wave came a little slow, but nevertheless, the blue wave did come to pass. Democrat Jared Golden beat Republican Bruce Parkland and making it the 33rd seat to pick for the pickup for the Democrats in the 2018 election. So 7 more races are left in the House to be decided, and other 7 races, 5 of those races are favored for Democrats. So we also had a situation with Donald Trump overseas last week, really totally embarrassing himself. I guess, he didn't feel like it was important for him to go and visit the World War I cemetery with all of the other leaders, and he's upset with his administration because they didn't tell him how important that it would be and how it would make him look. Tina, man, I mean, there's a lot to unpack there, bro. Just step in there and tell me what's up, man.
Donald Trump's ignorance just surpasses anybody. I mean, you don't know that you go over to France, that all the other world leaders are going to lay wreaths at this memorial, and then it's of U.S. dead soldiers, of Americans, and Donald Trump doesn't think that's important. Who is he listening to?
That was the reason he went over there, whether he knows it or not. But he was upset because they didn't have the big best.
No, he went over there because he's going to get a chance to see Vladimir Putin, and that's why he went there. But I mean,
but he also missed the parade that they gave last year.
He
was upset about he didn't have the big parade.
Trump's ignorance is astounding. I mean, there's no depth to his ignorance. There is no depth to his stupidity. There's no depth to his cruelness. I don't know how we deal with him. But, the blue wave came, and I think since the last time we talked on this podcast, the Democrats have picked up, 4 more seats, 5 more seats since we last talked. And as I was looking today, they were in contentions to get another one. That's so right. He got out there, and him and Mike Pence told a lie and said, oh, there's no blue wave. There's no blue wave. They don't see it. Yeah, they see it. They know that White House is being flooded with Democrats. So now we got a little bit of a distraction in the Democratic Party. People don't want Nancy Pelosi, at least these new progressives don't want Nancy Pelosi to be Speaker of the House because they got their issues. I just want to say this. You need to go with somebody who knows what they're doing. This is not learn on the job situation.
That's right.
So while you might have issues with Nancy Pelosi, keep that in the house, work it out behind closed doors. Because if the way that you're going about it, or some of them are going about it, it'll end up being a divided Democratic House. They won't be elected a speaker, and you'll be the majority with the Republicans having their own speaker.
Okay.
So you got to think about the consequences of your actions. Now, there's some in the Congressional Black Caucus, they feel that she's not doing enough. Well, you know what? I understand that, and she's not doing enough. I'm not going to disagree. She's not doing enough. But this is the horse that you rode in on. And since this horse is going to ride you to victory, you need to stay on your winning horse.
Yeah, I don't think they need to try to change now.
It's more than just the policies, because this also has to do with fundraising and money. And let's face it, most of these members of the Black Caucus aren't really got a lot of billionaire friends that's going to give them millions of dollars. Nancy Pelosi has that. So sometimes you have to build an alliance with somebody so you can get stuff done. But the bottom line is, the Democrats have a big house, and as always, they're always fighting among themselves about, inconsensual things. Trump is the enemy. That's it. Now, if you notice, you probably hear people saying we got to get back to civility, all like that. Well, they always want to get back to civility when they win or when they have won. But I guarantee you, if we are lost, they wouldn't holler about no civility. So,
yeah, Mitch McConnell has a lot of nerve talking about getting back to civility when he wouldn't, put Merrick Garland in, wouldn't allow him. They always want to get back to facility when they've been nothing but uncivil. So he's the last person to talk about civility. It's almost a joke to hear him talk about that. And they say that, since this blue wave has hit, Donald Trump is President Grumpy Pants. You know, that he's mad at everything and everybody. They say he even mad at the furniture. You know, and then you got Melania, you know, taking a play from Donald Trump and going on Twitter and, you know, get people, you know, fired. In this case, they didn't fire, but they, I guess, are, you know, putting her in another position. But, you know, this White House now is really different because Donald Trump realizes that he's going to be held accountable now. And all of the past things that he's gotten away with and all of the things that the Republicans have not held him to the fire for, that the Democrats will. And you know what? Everybody's going to be celebrating the holidays, and we got, you know, New Year's coming, and everybody's going to be happy and excited. But Donald Trump knows that on January 3rd, it is not going to be a happy day for him.
January 2nd.
Oh, January 2nd. Okay, it's the 2nd. Okay. It's all gonna come down for him.
They got 85 bills waiting. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know who had to swear him in, but I wouldn't be surprised if they delayed the swearing in. Because
you know what? If I were those new Democrats, I'd be like, you know what? I might not got sworn in, but I'm coming to take this office, bro. You need to have your stuff packed and out the door. You know what I mean? You know, you're not trying to play these mind games with President Grumpy Pants.
They're not gonna be squatters in my office, right?
Okay, yeah. Y'all gotta go. You know, you ain't got to go home, Pippin, but you got to leave up out of here. That's for real. So yeah, there's a lot going on, and we still have issues going on in Florida. How about that? They're still counting. They were 2 minutes late, you know, with submitting some of the voter tallies, and we still got issues here in Georgia. So, but Florida's still going down. But your boy, he stood up there with the president as if he's already been elected, and he hasn't been declared the winner yet. What's wrong with him?
The fix is in. He knows the fix is in. He's ahead right now. So of course, anytime you're ahead, let's stop. Part of it, you know, is machines. I think a lot of it has to do with, in Andrew Gilliam's case as the governor, has to do with his race. You know, Bill Nelson is still fighting tooth and nail. They found another 181 votes, but that's not even a drop in the bucket when you 12,000 behind. Yeah. I don't know what the thing is. Once they do the hand recount, we'll see how this goes. You know, every vote, you know, Trump is against every vote should count. I don't understand that. You know, every vote's supposed to count. That's what election is about. You count everybody's vote, make it valid. He doesn't want the military vote. I don't understand why. Most of the time, the military sides with the commander-in-chief, but we know he's neither a commander nor is he some type of chief. You know, he's not really. Yeah, he doesn't understand that. You know, I think he's a cult leader of people who doesn't give meaningful thought in their decisions, unless it's evil. No, he's a president who touts himself a person that's, you know, for the military. You know, he wants to say that, you know, Barack Obama didn't, you know, give enough money to the military. Lies. And all lies. And he's the one who doesn't go and visit the War I cemetery. He's the one who doesn't go across the bridge, they say, like about 8 minutes from the White House, him nor Mike Pence, to lay the wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. It's called Arlington. It's where the heroes have died. And for Trump's case, there's some Civil War people in there too. So maybe, you know, we don't know who's in the unknown grave. We just know that he was an American and he's dead. And he died in service. They've been doing that for years. And I guess it was cloudy, it was rainy. I don't get why Pence didn't go. I don't understand how his supporters can stay behind him and he does all of these horrible things that don't support the military at all. It's horrible. Well, they're false patriots. That's what they are. They're false patriots. And then, you know, he wants to talk about the thing about Obama took away money from the military. When you are winding down a campaign, you do not need as much money as it was when you gearing up for a campaign. So but what happened is that was a bipartisan agreement because of all of the financial turmoil that we were in. And so he was trying to, you know, get us back balanced. And it was bipartisan that they took that money and tried to, you know. He looks at the Democrats because we're the enemy of the people. Anybody's for the Constitution, upholding the Constitution is the enemy of his so-called people. And we know who his people are. He puts in people like Matt Whitaker,
Yeah,
who's
Matt Whitaker. Yeah.
who sent a confirmation, and who wants to spy on and stop the Mueller investigation. They just haven't figured out the optimum time to do it, and that's it. But they're going to do it. Like he got rid of Jeff Sessions, and I tell you, I don't feel sorry for Jeff Sessions going.
I don't.
So he and what's his name from Alabama, George Roy Moore. They both can get on sassy and ride off into the sunset.
Yeah, buddy. Sassy got a lot to handle there.
Yeah.
The whole situation with Matt Whitaker, he's not Senate confirmed. He's not even a good lawyer. He's also being investigated by the very agency that he runs for some hot tub company that he ran with some other people. And when it went belly up, he threatened people and bullied them. Donald Trump.
Surprise.
Yeah.
When you thought Trump said drain the swamp, you thought he was taking the alligators out. No, he was draining the swamp to get the fish out. We're the fish.
Okay. Put more alligators in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is, I'm going to be surprised if Matt Whitaker is not recused from the Mueller case. I'm going to be surprised if he is not taken out, because there are a lot of lawsuits. None other than Kellyanne's husband and two other lawyers have gone to court about his appointment. There is a case that is pending that really includes Jeff Sessions, and they just said he can't be the sitting DOJ, AG. So you know what? I would be very surprised if he's still in there in 2 or 3 weeks with all the stuff that's going on. I will.
Well, Trump is going to find another AG, and he's going to say this is the person. And apparently, I'm guessing that it'd probably be Lindsey Graham well, we know it won't be Chris Christie. That's for sure.
It can be Chris Christie, but he's going to have to recuse himself too, because he worked on the Trump campaign. Anybody that worked on his campaign will have to recuse himself. So
but they're not. They're not. That's the problem. They're not. He's going to say that I'm not, or he might go with Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of Florida. I mean, who didn't in that White House that works for Trump didn't work on the campaign?
I don't see why anybody would even want to work for him at this point in time, because these people have to understand that they are stepping into a scandal, and all of them are going to have to get lawyered up. I wanted to talk a little bit about Mississippi Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith. She's in a run with Mike Espy in Mississippi, and she made a horrible joke about. She claimed it was a joke. I don't think anybody of color thinks it's a joke. Something to the effect that she wouldn't go to a public hanging if she was invited. And you know what? Mississippi has had more lynchings than any other state in the United States. And I just find this type of race baiting to just be horrible. And I just hope that she loses.
Well, I hope she loses too. But, don't Mississippi still have the Confederate flag within this flag for the state of Mississippi?
I think so.
So don't be surprised. Race baiting has driven out the haters. It excites her base. And so that's who she was talking to. If they were sitting behind their meth labs in the woods, come on out and vote. That's what the signal was, because while it may not be a physical lynching, she wants to have a symbolic lynching of hanging this black man to show like this is how we run here in Mississippi. You didn't know your place. You moving outside of your station.
Okay.
So I'm not surprised, and it's been shown that like Brian Kemp with his racism, Ron DeSantis with their racism, that gets them votes. And they're not about decency. It's about any means necessary that they win. They're about winning, and they don't care.
Winning ugly.
Yep.
So what do you think about the troops at the border, man? I mean, next week is Thanksgiving, and it seems like the troops at the border are not going to be able to go home and visit their families, and I just find that to be appalling.
Well, a lot of times, not the whole army can't take off at Thanksgiving. I get that. There are probably a great many of those troops that could be home for Thanksgiving, but they're soldiers and Marines or sailors or Air Force men, whatever. They're the United States military. You're on duty 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Even when you will leave, your leave is called, and that's it. I'm sorry that they can't spend time with their family because they're down there for what are they guarding against? So the migrant has reached parts of what? Tijuana, 100 people, women and children. What are they gonna do? Run to the border wall and just ask for food? Oh, we gotta keep them out, we gotta have men with guns. But Matthew says that they're there supposedly to back up DHS, the Border Patrol agents.
They don't need any help. They have enough people there already. They didn't need the soldiers.
I know, but this is the political stunt by, the so-called president. Of course,
but it's gone too far. The election's over. The blue wave came, and he needs to just go ahead and man up and say,
well,
you know what?
I want to know what happened to MS-13, all the gangs, the MS-13, these Iranian terrorists that were coming over the wall and coming through the border, and they was going to just invade the country like cockroaches being turned on in the light. Where are they at?
He had to incite that hate and that fear so that people will come out and vote. It's just horrible because his base is so stupid. They listen to that crap. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. And then we have, Jim Acosta, CNN, the press, asking follow-up questions to Trump, and he didn't like it, and they snatched his press passes. Then they went out and told the other lie, we didn't doctor the video.
InfoWars did.
When you slow it down, you doctor it. When you do any kind of editing, you take things out, you put it out of sequence, you're doctor it. They didn't show the raw video. Everybody else showed the raw video. Nobody else saw the zoom and the close-up and place the hands, make it look closer and all like that. They doctor it. They purposely try to give that visual impression that he snatched the thing on the intern. But when it came to light, then all of a sudden they didn't have an excuse for it. So, but a judge ruled temporarily that he got his credentials back and he can go. But now they want to have a set of rules for him. And part of that set of rules, I guess, is that they don't want the reporters asking any follow-up questions. So when Trump
what? I hope that the reporters band together, and when one reporter asks a question, and that next reporter does a follow-up question to that question that reporter asked, because you know what? They're not trying to be honest. They don't want to be held accountable. Donald Trump is not ready for prime time. He's not ready for any time. And so these type of
for jail time. I know.
Oh, he's ready for jail time, whether he know it or not. Him and his whole family. Yeah. He's ready for that, whether he know it or not. That's for sure. So with all of the things going on with the California fires, it seems like they were saying that. It seems like they would have some of our troops out there, but they got them stuck in some desert somewhere, But, man, those California fires, man, I am so sorry. There is so much devastation, man, so much. It's just horrible. So many people missing, so many animals, so many homes devastated. And then you got this idiot, Donald Trump, who's saying that it's their fault. And to be quite frank, it's the federal government who really manages most of that land. He don't even know.
Have you ever known him take responsibility? The whole thing is some of these things are man-made. Some of them are acts of God. Mm-hmm. Well, like they said, the first time the earth was destroyed by water, the second time the earth is destroyed by fire. I mean, it is burning. If you're rich or poor, and if you're in the way of that fire, it's gonna burn. That's it. So it would have been nice if he could have used some of these troops, like you say. To help the firefighters and those forestry firefighters to maybe help them put out the fire. But no, not Donald Trump. He want to make sure the little babies don't come across and be anchor babies.
That's right.
Constitutionally says if they come on this side of the border and they're born here, they're U.S. citizens. So they're gonna be anchor babies.
Okay. I don't know if any of those women walking are pregnant, but they certainly do have small children with them. And like you said, they said that a lot of them aren't even heading the way that the soldiers are stationed. So it's really sad, you know. And I feel as though, you know, when they ask questions about, well, what is our mission? They can't even tell them what the mission is.
Because
they just said, well, for now we need to get this barbed wire.
Sent Mathis to the border and told Mathis, make sure these immigrants don't come across. He told him that's not the role. You know, we're not supposed to do that. So he pushed back on. So Trump said, I don't care. You get them down on the border, then you stand behind them and back them up. Make me look good. And that's what he's trying to do. So, you know, in the House, they passed $242 million to repair part of the fencing in Arizona. Of course, there's no migrants there, but, you know, that's what he wants to do. I don't know why for 34 miles you got to spend $342 million. That's, you know, I don't know who's building their wall, but you know what? I'm going to just tell you, you could have hired Pinkerton Security and they could have done a better job than $342 million.
Exactly.
You know, and also I just want to say, you know, this whole Florida election thing, it's a mess. It's a mess. You got two counties, Broward and Palm. They got old machines and nobody can count. And not only that, then they said, oh, well, we can't use your ballots because, you know, you missed the deadline by 2 minutes. Well, hell, did somebody, maybe the clock wasn't running and they needed new batteries. I don't know. Maybe somebody didn't.
They say they had problems uploading it.
And then you talking about you got to upload it. And then you got somebody, I'm not quite sure, when they wrote that law, there was no such damn thing as uploading.
Yeah.
You know, and unless it's written in the Constitution, they can waive it. But you know what? This is designed. They wanted to do it, and I don't know.
It's unfortunate. You got machines that are so old that they're smoking, and you know. And another thing too is they complicated the ballot by putting information under the directions, which they explicitly
I saw that.
You know, they said that when we went through this stuff with Bush back in 2000, that, you know, no ballot should be made.
There's no uniformity in these ballots. I mean, if you live in one county, generally there's a variation from one county to the next county. And I don't know why, you know, like in Illinois, if I get a ballot, I live in Cook County, but if you live in a city, your ballot is going to be different because you're voting for different people. But it should be uniform. It should be, you know, whoever's the top of the ticket for the federal, and then the state, and then the local, in that order. But apparently that's not how they do it in Florida. They just do it different.
Keep it scandalous. Keep it scandalous.
Also, a couple of things. The poop train that's going through Alabama.
Oh my God. Yeah, New Jersey and New York signed an agreement and said, hey, we want to send y'all some feces. And they said, okay, where do I sign? I can't remember.
Well, how much are they getting for the poop train? And what are they going to do it once they get to Alabama? You can't use, you know, not all shit is manure. They do know that, don't they?
Yeah, they claim that they were sending it treated, but apparently every neighborhood that it's landed in, people have been unable to breathe because it's changed the quality of the air.
So that's why S. Heifer's in the house with her oxygen mask because she smelled the poop train and can't get out.
Yeah, God bless her. I will be going there Wednesday, but I'm not going by the poop train. I'm just gonna stop on Trustville. You know, last Saturday, T-Man, we had a black security guard, 26-year-old Jamel Robertson, who was a security guard at Manny's Blue Room in Robbins, Illinois. There was an altercation. There was a gentleman who was kicked out of the club, and you know, he came back with a gun, and Jamel, you know, he subdued him. Apparently, the police were called, and you know what happened. A black man with a gun doing his job was fatally shot and killed.
You know, he lived in Robbins, and then they had the local police department from the neighboring town. They responded first. I can see how this happens.
But you know, they said that he did have a security vest on. So Midlothian police, and I've never seen a security vest. They
heard a man with a gun. They saw a black man with a gun. They never occurred to them that the black man might be a security guard that's holding the perpetrator down. Also, the fact was that he was young. And they stereotyped him saying he was a young man, 26 years old, with a gun, holding somebody else. And they shot first and then asked questions later. And now they got a big problem. Why did you kill the man who was holding the criminal? But they're gonna charge the man that was down, charge him with manslaughter because it's like his fault that them fools shot him.
Yeah. You know what? And he was an aspiring police officer as well, which is really, really, you know, disheartening. It's horrible. But the family's also suing. So, you know, I want them to, you know, hopefully be, you know, get some money because their son was shot down, and you know, we were concerned about, you know, how could they identify him. So my thing is this, you know, you go into a bar, and I'm sure this is the first time that these police officers are called to this bar, you know what I'm saying, and you should be looking for somebody with the security reflective vest on, you know, they really should.
But see, they're from a neighboring town. They don't know the citizens there. I'm quite sure if Robbins police would have gotten there first, we might not have that problem because Robbins police has probably been called to that bar and they know who everybody is. But Midlothian police got there first, which is more predominantly white. They just saw a black man with a gun, and like any racist cop does, we shoot the man with the gun and then we ask the questions later.
It was horrible.
Yeah. And so we had some more deaths. Kim Porter,
yes,
Lee's girlfriend, mother of his 3 kids or 4 kids because he adopted a child.
Her first son is by Albie Shore. You know, that was rather shocking. She was 47 years old. She was a former model. They said that she'd been fighting pneumonia. You know, I hate to say it, but there's a lot of people who, you know, tout themselves as, I don't know, being these people who don't want to take medicine. You know, when a doctor gives you a prescription, you need to fully take the prescription. But she did contact her doctor the day before and said that she still didn't feel good. And she was in LA in her home. And when they called, they called and said, you know, it seemed like she had a heart attack, but man, 47 years old. She's got 2 twins. You know, she's got, I think, twin daughters. I think they're 11 or 12 years old. Her other children are, her other 2 sons are adults. But this is really hard. You know, I mean, she was a good person. She really raised those kids here in Georgia. And, you know, despite, you know, anything else, you know, I just hate to see a young woman like herself, you know, a mother, you know, die of pneumonia. You know, it's something that she should have been at a hospital, man. She should have been in the hospital.
Yeah. And then also we had, what is the article in New York Magazine, Trump not pardoned annual turkey. It's a read of satire, but you know what, it runs so true. Trump ain't pardoned no turkey because he said Gerald Soros sent that turkey to spy on him. This turkey gonna die. He gonna be on Trump's table, you know. They probably named that Trump turkey Hillary Clinton, you know, so he can, you know, whatever it is, and kill her, you know. That's how he do, you know. You don't want to lock him up; he just want to kill him. And so,
well, hopefully, Putin sent him a goose or something, man. He need that, you know. Oh, crazy. Yeah. Well, you know what? Jaden Smith. You know Jaden Smith.
Yeah, ain't that Will's boy?
Yeah, Will and Jada's boy. He came out at Dodger Stadium last week, and he repeatedly said that him and Tyler, the Creator, were in a relationship. And he said several times that Tyler is my effing boyfriend. So, you know what? Shout out to Jaden. You know, sometimes he wears a skirt, sometimes he wears pants. These young kids nowadays, you know, they're pansexual. They're all kind of stuff. So, you know what? All I can say is I wish him the best. If this is true and it's not a joke, I wish him the best.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, I don't know what to say. All I can say is I see Tyler, the Creator. I don't know what he has, the attraction with him is. But like you say, they're pansexual. I guess if it has some pulse of life in it, it doesn't matter if it's male, female, an innate object, or from the animal kingdom. They go for it. because they got love for it.
I'm not quite sure if they're into bestiality, but they don't care if you are gay, straight.
I wouldn't put it past some of them. I'm not
transsexual.
but I wouldn't put it past some. And then, of course, we have Stan Lee. And Stan Lee passed away from the Marvel world. And I think he's really significant, and people don't realize that Stan Lee was one of the creators of the Black Panther. And he gave it the green light for them to do this movie. And Black Panther, the movie's made billions. It's a Black superhero that put Black people or the Black race, so to speak, in a positive light. And he was on board with that, and he was on board with, I think, as a Collier, the director, to play the director. So he's gone. I don't know who's going to take over for him now, but we do have a Black positive superhero, in spite of all the things. I mean, now you see him.
Yeah, but he also was instrumental in Spider-Man and Captain America. I mean, he did so much. I mean, my whole childhood is about Stan Lee,
Right. And one of the newer movies that's coming out is Captain Marvel. She's gonna save us the world from Trump. She's a white woman. I wish she was biracial, but if she's a white woman gonna save us from him, I'll take her.
I'll take her. Anyway.
So I just want to say that, and also the passing of two people, in our celebrity world, Stan Lee and Kim Porter, and this young security officer who died doing his job, protecting people from harm. So our condolences go out to their families and loved ones and
absolutely
their admirers. So we have Thanksgiving coming up. So a lot's going to happen between now and Thanksgiving, but we're going to take that week off to be with our families and come back after Thanksgiving and talk about the insanity that's going on this planet in the United States of America.
Yeah, and I just want to give a shout out to my boy Corey Finney for inviting me to the red carpet event this past Sunday down here in Atlanta, and so we had a really good time, and I got to take a picture with young John.
Yeah. We're gonna try to put that up on our website. So people
absolutely. And shout out to my other hairdresser, Tab. She's, those are people that keep this little crazy stuff going on here.
All right, and I'm gonna give a shout out.
Everybody, happy Thanksgiving.
I'm gonna give a shout out to my daughter Sandra, who I'm not gonna tell her age because she don't want nobody to know. She hit another milestone, starting with the letter 40. So 40 plus, but she actually had surgery yesterday on her foot. When you got kids and you're running around, dogs, you have a tendency to like tear tendons and stuff like that. She thinks she's athletic, she's young, but honey, you're aging a little bit. You just don't know it yet. So anyway, to all our fans and family, and to your family and my family, happy Thanksgiving. And I want everybody to be thankful for what we have.
Just be thankful for what you got.
Right, because it's here today, could be gone tomorrow. And like Kim Porter, a young person, a beautiful woman who had everything that a person would need, she's gone. And even Diddy, they had a good relationship. She was the mother of his kids, and even though he was moved on other relationships with other people, she was always his heart. I mean, I saw him co-parent, take his yacht, and him and Cassie and her and the kids. So they made it work. And if you got members in your family, maybe you might want to try to make it work too, So be thankful for what you got. Everybody take care. So this is Lee Street Beat. And until, well, not next week, but the following week, we'll be back, and unless there's a real big break in the Trump update, then we'll come. We'll do a special. I'll stop eating my turkey in between the gravy and the cranberries, and then
I'm gonna come on eat my cheese and macaroni though. I don't care.
Right. So, then we'll give an update. But other than that, we'll see you in about a couple of weeks. And everybody take care. Have a happy Thanksgiving. And Sandra, you have a happy Thanksgiving. As Hacker, I know you out there. I know you hear me. Have a happy Thanksgiving. And
Wakanda, bruh.
Yeah, Wakanda forever. Bye.